comes down now to Ashe and Zilean, but they don't have a whole lot of other fodder for it, and they hand control back over to DRX inside of the draft phase, and I think that that is extremely worrisome to do. And Irellia is going to come out as the final pick, and it's going to end up in Doran's hands, which is going to be very interesting. So let's see how Gen.G try to juggle this. They have enormous amounts of scaling on their team composition. The thing that worries me most, though, is that Volibear, Senna, and Azir get massive value against this Gen.G team comp.
It's definitely worrying for the side of Gen.G. Very curious about this Irellia. Obviously, that is one of the picks that stands out, I suppose, alongside Zilean, who probably stands out the most in this draft. But Doran coming out here and piloting this one is quite interesting. It seems like DRX as a team do have confidence in Doran to play that very mechanically challenging champion into the tanky Ornn. And it seems like both teams are saying, well, we don't want this Ornn to just come out here unpunished. We wanna take stuff into it that will have winning laning phases, or at least can get aggressive. And so we see that once again with the Irellia up into the top side.
Yeah, and we'll see what Gen.G are going to manage to do with this. This is a very worrisome draft, especially if they get lane kingdom in some of these lanes, which they definitely have been set up to maybe do. They do have very big upside, though, for Clid on the Graves against Pyosik's Volibear, but a lot of these lanes are very volatile. So we'll see what ends up happening here in game number 2. This is thematically the type of two team comps that I would expect out of these two teams.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see that Gen.G going back to that kind of scaling up, team fighting oriented composition. But again, they suffered a bit in game number 1. I think they need to prove to a lot of the people, a lot of the fans coming into this series that were predicting them to come out and do well, that they're not just going to get bopped 3 times in a row in laning phases and then take awkward team fights, that they can actually be proactive and try to get some good wins here, as Rascal has just been enjoying himself this series. He was dancing on the Volibear, he's dancing, he's laughing on the Ornn, he's got all the big boys up there in the top side. That's going to be his role today, it seems. That rock up in the top for Gen.G.
And I think Gen.G are just going to try to play this early game a little bit slow. I'm very surprised by the Doran's ring on BDD here in mid, because he's mostly just trying to survive and sustain against the Azir. It's very hard for there to be any real gank setup with the Graves. So I would have expected BDD to be a little bit greedier with his opening buy. Starts off by missing 1 CS, and, you know, I mean, that's a go next. So, Valdez, over to you.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then, I guess. But Zilean, he's got some of the most awkward auto attacks. Not very high damage, very slow projectile. It's difficult, and it's not easy to CS under turret with bombs and stuff like that. So that's one thing that can make or break a Zilean player. If you're just missing all the CS, it's not really gonna be a good feel for you as this game comes along. But looks like so far he's only missed the 1, maybe 2 there in the mid lane, as Rascal has played 30 games of Ornn. Might be his most played ever.
Yeah, and we'll see what he manages to do here on this champion. 66.7% win rate. And Doran, I mean, he's really positioned this perfectly for a cheater recall if he's going to end up going for it. Now, he hasn't popped any of his corrupting potions yet, so we'll see if he does actually follow through with it. But he's trading on Rascal instead. Oh.
That's a huge amount of damage. Had he had Ignite, I think he definitely would have gone in on that one, but that's not the way we do it here. He misses the cannon, so go next. Over to you, Ellis.
I mean, right here, this is where it gets a little bit unfortunate, because you can see he can't do anything to the 4th wave, and he pushed it. He waited too long with pushing it, and so now the 4th wave comes in. Now, Doran's going to be able to hug this, and you can see what Pyosik is doing. He's trying to make his way over, maybe threaten some sort of a dive, but Rascal's actually pretty happy with how this is all transpiring. So Doran went from really having a super big winning meter in the lane to all of a sudden the Ornn is actually somewhat happy. Now, Volibear, He does get the Scuttle Crab on the left-hand side, but Rascal, for the most part, is going to be able to fade the kind of deficit that he should have been in this lane.
Going in onto Ruler down on the bottom side, but Keria may have overstepped his bounds. He gets ignited. Will stay alive. Doesn't look like Life or Ruler want to use too many other summoners, so it's just Ignite for Exhaust traded down here on the bottom side. You can see that Ashe, though, getting a very nice lane so far. Having a fantastic time. Another trade up here top side. In goes Doran. He's looking for that solo. The flash comes out, and Doran is not going to flash follow. So he just picks up that one, and now we got an engage here in the jungle. As all that priority down in the bottom side, Keria, oh man, he's might have to flash here. There's a lot of damage coming out. He doesn't flash. He thinks he can survive, and he gets shut down there by the Sett as Life picks up first blood in a nice aggressive trade by Gen.G.
And the first blood, it goes over to the Sett, but Volibear is going to lose so much control now over to Clid, who's just going to pillage his right side jungle. And you can see Doran off the reset. He only manages to get a call. Now he does retain his flash advantage, so we'll see what he can actually do with it. Rascal.
He's going for this. He's really looking for the kill. Rascal doesn't have flash. He does miss the knockup. What a play by Doran. Just outsteps that one and is able to dodge. And Rascal, he is really struggling up here. We got Irellia just getting straight up solo kills on double cloth armor Ornn and making it look easy.
And well, that is a very big turn of events, because when Irellia gets ahead, if she's ahead. Oh, hold on. Actually,
Deft taking a lot of damage. Life is just, he is owning this bottom lane alongside of Ruler, who is incredibly solid on the Ashe, of course, but looks like Deft and Keria will be safe for now. As we got never-ending action here.
I mean, this is absolutely chaotic right now here inside of this early game. There is trades happening everywhere. I want to point out that Doran, he is well into level 6. Rascal just dinged 5. So the level discrepancy up in top lane, and it's going to be Blade of the Ruin King on Irellia. And can they stop bullying him?
This just isn't fair.
Oh,
Poor
man.
guy.
This is...
I think he's straight up dead. Let's see. Well, okay.
We're
going to go for the dive here. And the stun will be avoided. Lots of damage going on to Pyosik. He's going to go down. Oh! That was really unfortunate. Just taking that one extra turret shot on max range from that top turret, and actually it's Rascal who gets the last laugh.
I mean, I don't even know what Pyosik's doing right there, because he can just wait for the wave to come into Irellia. Rascal does not have level 6. Rascal does not have flash. It makes literally no sense why he pulls the trigger that early, forcing the issue. I mean, if you're Doran right now, you're not only question mark pinging him until it says that you must wait for more pings, you're also reporting him after the game.
And calling for 9 times across the board.
9x.
Just say 9 in the chat. Everybody gets what you mean. Doran is, he doesn't seem too phased. I mean, he's just directly straight in the face of Rascal once again. So he's like, yeah, sorry about my jungler, but I've still got to do my job. As this is the solo kill as we listen into Doran.
쿨감 오프만큼 차이 난다.
오케이. 그브 늑대 털 수도? 나 탑 붙어주긴 해. 나이스.
나이스.
It's a really nice kill there. We also saw Keria in the chat using English, spamming 9 top for the flash. And you can just see this is way too overforced by Pyosik. It made no sense whatsoever. You know that Rascal doesn't have a ward because you had total vision on him as he came back into the lane. You know that he doesn't have flash. It just doesn't make any sense why Pyosik was so willing to do that. But, you know, much like our resident World of Warcraft player here in a lot of the games, sometimes you got to give in to the Leroy.
Yeah, it's kind of just built into your DNA. You don't really have much of a choice. And, I mean, he looked pretty solid in game number 1. We can give him that. Looks very good on a champion like Irellia that can kind of sit back, farm Raptors 8,000 times, and then eventually get really fed by being in the right place at the right time. But more proactive ganky junglers, Pyosik has struggled on a little bit, and struggles there once again, gives Rascal a breath of life, a breath of fresh air up in the top lane. It's still going to be difficult. especially as Doran gets some items, but obviously that gold is going to allow him to pick up a ruby crystal, you'd imagine, and just be a little bit tankier and more sustained up in that top side.
And I think
Yeah.
right now, what is going to happen is Doran, he's lost the ability to really just completely pile drive this top lane. You can see that Rascal's still being a little bit reserved. Doran does still have an advantage present up in top, but it's not the kind of one where he can just guarantee that his team will win the game as long as they don't bleed out elsewhere. And Gen.G now, they're rotating for the Rift Herald. They're dragging everyone over. And, I mean, this is the classic. Now, DRX are favored at this fight. So, I am not sure...
Well,
what is
trying to force it? That's a nice arrow, actually. Let's Clid get it. They're trying to burst down that bear as he's going to get knocked up, but in he goes, trading back onto Clid, and will survive. The Zilean ultimate going to come out and make Clid survive. That extra damage is going to help out so much. Doran gets low. Flash in, and a double kill comes out from Clid. Immediately just blasts them both in the face, as now it's a huge play here for Gen.G. They're going to take down one more as Life is able to flash forward. And now the 3-for-0 on top of the Rift Herald, though, looking for Chovy. Those bombs were not even necessary, BDD, but good effort as Life is going to come in and show him who the true alpha really is.
And I mean, with this kind of a victory, and now the Rift Herald, they're going to plant this one down. They're going to give all of the plates over to BDD. I just feel like this game is just busted so wide open. And when you consider that they have ornaments on their team, they have Zilean, who's accelerating some of the XP leads on the team as well. There is just such little hope if you are a DRX fan inside of this game. So they're rotating over. Now take a look at this. A beautiful arrow by Ruler. So much damage onto Pyosik, who just gets knocked up into Bounce City. He gets on to the Graves, but it didn't matter as the Zilean ultimate able to res him at about 60% life. Boom. And then the double kill coming out by Clid. Just a very unfortunate setup there for DRX, and a really good opportunity capitalized on by Gen.G. And with that, I mean, they just decimate the game. They get the ace. The Rift Herald, I just think we're going to game number 3, Valdez, with the series tied up.
This kind of looks like the way that Gen.G looked in their matches against Afrika, minus the solo kill, of course, up in the top side. A lot of the fights were extremely one-sided, and they were just able to just push the game so fast in their favor, and that's what it looks like here in this one, as Doran does a good job getting Rascal low. It looks like Rascal was getting a little bit, out of hand, so Doran had to sit him down there a little bit, show him who's boss in this lane. And, well, Rascal's going to level up, and he's pretty tanky at this point and has some nice sustain, but Doran at full health will continue to try to do what he does up in the top side, but as a whole, down 3,000 gold, and Life is just so unbelievably fed right now. He's 2-0-3, just walks behind the turret. TP is coming in here, and now Life's in an awkward spot. They're trying to get on top of Ruler. The cleanse will come out. Nice stun by BDD. Life is actually going to get away as well, but Ruler going into the jungle is unfortunately going to be isolated and taken down here by the Irellia that comes from the top lane.
Yeah, and Chovy wasn't able to get any sort of a kill there. And so, while they do pick up one of the kills, they end up going 1-for-1. The Senna is just so far behind, and she's really behind right now in laning phase, and it's going to be very hard for Deft to keep up in the later stages of the game in the CS department because of the difficulty that Senna has. Farming in the later stages of the game. And we just take a look at this. I mean, the wave is coming in. Life, superplex right into the wall. Perfect haymaker lined up. And you can see Keria, he gets there. He tries to stun Ruler. Cleanse comes out. Solar Flare to follow up. Double bomb there onto Keria. Zenith Blade comes back up again. Teleport by Doran. Flawless duet locking him up. And honestly, that was just not a very fun time if you were Ruler. DRX now, they're trying to get this Infernal Dragon. Nope, that's going to go the way of Gen.G.
Oh, nice smite comes in there, and, well, see you later, Irellia. Not really able to do much. Pretty irrelevant, I should say, as Chovy goes in, gets the one onto BDD, but he's got the Zilean ultimate on him, and everybody else is just fighting front to back. They are so far ahead. They're smacking them with their wallets right now. Keria's going to go down. Deft will also be taken down. That is a clean ace for the side of Gen.G. 5-for-0. And they are running away with this game.
They are so far ahead at this point. Now with the Infernal Dragon bolstering them up even more, the Dragon going down and going their way, they're 2 Drakes away from Soul Point. Things are looking real grim right now. So you can see the Ornn going and Sett just helping get that kill onto Doran immediately, and this is where Gen.G's team comp is going to flourish, is when DRX is coming into them, because Zilean is just going to have so much effectiveness. The grit on Graves is going to be out of control. And now, with this fight concluding, Ornn gets more time to scale up, try to get to his ornaments. You can see the glacial items continuing to come in for BDD right now. He already has the GLP 800. A little bit surprised to not see him pick up the Magi Soul Stealer here. He's at 9 stacks already. So even an assist would grant him the passive. A little bit surprising there. 7,000 gold lead almost. It's actually more than that if you factor in the base levels, you factor in that Infernal Dragon. And things are looking, again, very grim. If you're a DRX fan and you're wondering, well, how do we come back inside of this game? It's very hard to do so because all of their champions now are going to be forced to run into Gen.G because Gen.G have the tempo, they have the control, they're always going to be first to the major neutral objectives. They're always going to be the one demanding now that DRX come into them, and that's such an impossible task to run into Ornn and Zilean.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the way this game has gone this time around. Looks like Clid is going to feel much better about the way this one went in the jungle, as they're just chipping away at Doran. Keria thinking about going on to life. But, I mean, Clid wasn't even super active. He just had fantastic team fights and he farmed up really well, while Pyosik was kind of like diving top and dying by himself. So that's really where the majority of the advantage comes in there for the jungle. And I mean, the only person who's got kills on the side of DRX is Doran, but he's this Irellia that's going to have a really rough time just running straight into Gen.G's comp, as you were mentioning. So definitely looking pretty dire. We haven't seen any super flashy plays out of Chovy. He got a couple of one-man Emperor's Divides. Not really able to make the big difference, as they were considering going in on this one. They're just going to defend and try to hold on desperately to this game.
And speaking of, Keria trying to do a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, they're trying to go in, but they don't really have the damage. As you can see, Ruler is just insane at this moment in time. BDD helping out his good friend Electric Bear. Says, okay, you get over that wall nice and safe and sound. You can go into hibernation now. And yeah, just chipping down to them like it's nothing. It's like a knife slicing through butter at this point. And they're going to get pretty much everything. Another turret, another Rift Herald, and tons of more kills in this game.
Well, we'll take a look at the replay just here. So I don't know what Keria is thinking with that Senna blade, as Life just superplexes backwards, and then Keria goes down shortly thereafter. And I think that DRX are just probably in desperation mode. They're looking for any type of kills that they can get. I mean, the gold lead extends even further. We're almost at 9,000 here at 17 minutes. And Gen.G, I just feel like they've ran away with the game just so quickly. And I'm curious where BDD is storing all of his EXP on Zilean, because accelerating the Ornn to get to the ornaments to add that much stronger of a stranglehold around DRX would probably be in his best interest. 40 seconds until that Ocean Dragon. They are certainly going to capture it. And Ruler feeling so confident right now, he gets the QSS as his second item, just to ensure even less chance that DRX can do anything to him in any of these team fights.
It's absolutely true. And Gen.G, you can see they just own pretty much every corner of this map right now. They've got 3 control wards in the blue side jungle of DRX. They're going to summon Shirley down on the bottom side. And BDD, I mean, he's not even scared of Doran. Doran was the only person who really had anything going for him. And he's just sitting here 2 levels ahead, just laughing in his face, throwing some snowballs at him with the Super Soaker. And we're going to get some really effective damage down on the bottom side as Gen.G slowly stack up the Drakes and look to take this one down eventually.
Yeah, Ocean Dragon is going to be on the menu right now. It looks like Graves is just going to be able to solo that one up. And this is just going to be more and more downtime right now. Rod of Ages was completed by BDD on that Zilean, so 9 minutes into the future will end up being fully stacked up. Curious to see if he will just power into the Magi's as his next item. He doesn't really need to get any more of extra sort of utility or whatnot. He can just rely on the sheer strength of his champion right now. And I think that the ornaments, if they are going to be bestowed to anyone, it's probably going to be Obsidian Cleaver and then Might of the Ruin King, because Ruler is going to be very far away from the Molten Edge. So he still has some time to get to his third item before Rascal is going to be high enough to hand that one over.
Yeah, they can essentially sit back and play this one out very comfortably from here on out. It looks like they're kind of just waiting for the Baron to spawn. Life is a monster in this game, by the way. He has done so much for this team, setting up so many of the team fights, so many picks, and he's 3-0-8, so he's just running at you with the Dead Man's Plate and saying, come at me, bro. He's also got that stopwatch, so he can frontline. He's going to get a massive shield. And not really, you know, DRX don't have the damage to punch through that. They're going to need, like, 30 more minutes. And even then, I mean, they're going to struggle against the scaling of Gen.G.
Yeah.
So for now, they're just kind of chilling.
I mean, they're trying to wait a great while. They're going to be forced to fight the Ocean Drake fight, regardless. And we'll see where that ends up going. You can just see how stunted Pyosik is. I mean, he's on a Giant's Belt, Swifty Boots, and Cinder Hulk as Volibear. So, I mean, he's just not even a champion right now. So, the Super Minion on DRX is definitely going to do a lot in the team fights. Not really sure. I mean, his only thing is to try to run in and steal the Ocean Soul. That's basically his only job at the next fight. If DRX do something weird like giving over Ocean Soul, I think that's just them conceding the game pretty much, because I can't imagine a world where previous Ocean Soul Gen.G is not somehow easier to beat than post-Ocean Soul.
Of course. I mean, it's if you're giving that one away, might as well just go next, perhaps, as we do have this trade down here on the bottom side. Looks like Doran is pretty angry, looking for this one, but the arrow comes out, and Ruler says, see you later. 2 autos on top of the volley. And, of course, there's no pressure elsewhere on the map, so DRX just have to stomach another loss down there with the death of Doran. As, okay, TP's coming in. Life, as I mentioned, he can just run straight at them. He doesn't have to respect any of the damage that comes out of the side of DRX. And even without Baron, at 21 minutes, they're just pushing 2 lanes and looking to take some inhibitors already.
Yeah, I mean, it looks... Ooh, well, that was a really nice combo by Leona.
Up a Clid, but again, it's Zilean, so from ahead, Zilean is going to be even just more obnoxious. And here's Life running straight at them. Not really caring too much about it. DRX do put on a nice little defense, though. They're not going to lose any turrets. And that's about as nice as it's going to get at this point in the game, to be honest.
And this is... I mean, the Zilean is basically a glimpse into the future of just how hard it's going to be for DRX, because even in dream spots where they manage to lock people up, it's just not really giving them any value. You can see the Bellows Breath there to try to cancel the ultimate. And there is the Ornn Horn being used. Rascal trying to do everything that he can. Brittle comes out, flashes over the edge yet again. And that was just an easy kill there, given over by Ruler. And Valdez, you know, Rascal, he's been doing a really good job this game. It is a little unfortunate, though, that Boris is inside his mind. I see the frozen fist.
He's taken over already.
It's coming in.
Boris. I wonder if he gets to every single region this fast. Here comes Doran, trying once again, and this time it's BDD and Life that are trying to take him down. They're actually struggling a little bit. Don't really have the damage, but the bombs are eventually going to land. That other one, the minion took it away. And DRX say, well, let's just run at the Baron then, as 2 members are down, but we got TP coming in now from BDD. Look at the crab rape this time from Clid. Usually it's Ruler. They're going to burst down that poor Volibear. He never stood a chance. And Chovy just says, yeah, I'd like to protect my KDA. Thank you very much. I'll be over the wall. And thank you for the leash, say Gen.G. Chovy actually not going to play KDA. He says, hey, how about I just give you guys an extra kill? Thank you. Even going to use his ultimate there as a sign of protest. And down goes the Baron, and in come Gen.G. Definitely going to take this one down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this game's over. It's 20-2. Yeah, I think, you know, it's almost 16,000 gold advantage, Ocean Soul ornaments, and Zilean is just absolutely out of control here. I have no idea what the thought process is on DRX, to be completely honest with you. I don't know who made the call. I'm even more afraid if multiple people made the call. But you can see Chovy even at the very end there trying to do something. He ends up just getting the bomb thrown on top of him. He casts his ultimate, and then you can see what happens right here. Life with the face breaker, able to, yeah, pretty good.
Oh boy.
Well,
so what are you thinking for POG? Chovy or?
I'm gonna
maybe someone on the side of Gen.G?
I'm gonna try. You know, I mean,
see what you can do.
There's always a first for everything, you know.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to it. X-Flash is amazing on Sett, and he's just so fast once he gets over the wall with the Nimbus X-Flash. Comes in, nice bombs coming out from B2D as they're looking to push in and end this game. They're going to take down the 2 inhibitors. In goes Keria. Well, and then down goes Keria. Clid frontlining here, nice couple of bombs onto Doran. They will be able to take him down as well, as this is a bit of a mega stomp from Gen.G over DRX in game number 2. They're going to be looking for the kills. They want to inflict a mental victory, as down will go Sett. Actually, it's only a 1-for-1 at this point. BDD looking to get that damage down, but they're not going to get anyone else, as they're not willing to, well, okay. BDD, he's just going to give his life over, a little bit of mercy being shown, but at the end of the day,